Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I haven't done a video in a while. Busy with the family. It's summer. Today is actually 4th of July. And I was thinking last couple of days about the whole Black Lives Matter movement and everything that's going on in the world. Like every day something, and this is July. June was something, May was something, April was something. And now we're in July, and we're in the, I guess, the different ages of this year. We're in the age of the Karens and Kens. There's a thing with white people, or people in general. There's a show called 90 Day Fiance we're watching. Me and my wife were watching, and there's a young girl from this area, Yonkers, where we live. Because of where she is, we got interested in the show. And she goes to Australia. She's whatever, you find your love overseas. And one of the things that came up in that episode with her, I don't remember her name, but the girl she was going after, they go out to dinner, they go on a couple of dates. Of course, you're gonna have drama. These are young women, they're in their 20s. Every relationship in your 20s is not gonna be perfect. So the girl from from Yonkers kept saying this thing, like, this doesn't make me comfortable, I'm uncomfortable. And her Australian girlfriend was so surprised by that. She was like, everything makes you uncomfortable. And I think that sums up American white women, or American people in general. I don't want to say white women are like that, but most Americans. Years ago, I worked with kids, and we have this thing. I used to do I was an outward bound outdoor education instructor. And there's a game we played with these kids when they came to us. A lot of what we did was educational stuff and outdoors, and these are inner city kids. And one of the things we played with them was this thing called comfort zones. And we had like a bullseye painted on the ground, and the group of kids circle around a bullseye. You have to step in a zone where you're comfortable. So we could set up the outer rim is something like, it's really cold, or it's dark and you don't have a flashlight. That's uncomfortable. And the innermost circle was something that you felt most comfortable, like could be an environment, it could be a situation, it could be a relationship you're in. And almost all the time, these are high school kids, all the time the kids ended up in the inner circle where they're most comfortable. They didn't want to come out of the comfort zone, but they all congregated in that innermost circle where they're most comfortable. And that's kind of where they wanted to be. And the point of the game, we didn't tell them the point of the game was just to get them grouped up. But the point of the game was, they didn't know the point was to, find your place in the comfort circle. So they just went naturally the way they felt comfortable. And that's fine. That's how we all are in life. But I think the problem with today, and I read a long time ago, the modern day human being, well, America, wherever on the planet, our comfort circle, you could fit our comfort zone on the surface of a dime or a penny. Whereas 100 years ago, or before our grandparents, you could fit the comfort zone of our ancestors in in the state of New York, on a map. You could fit it in a bigger space. So our comfort zones have shrunk down, where I saw a video and it really bugged me, and it's always black and white people. We're the biggest population segment of the population in America, so we bump heads. Parking lot at a mall or wherever, black family, 2 kids, and I guess the dad or something, or a mom, bumped into a white lady, and she freaks out. Immediately she thinks she's being attacked, and she pulls a gun on them. I forgot what state this is in. She pulls a gun on them, and she's screaming. Obviously someone pulls a gun on you and you have your kids there, it's gonna be a confrontation, a situation. So she said her defense was she felt uncomfortable because she got bumped in a parking lot at a mall or shopping center, where she got bumped by one of the kids. I think bumped her. I don't know, I didn't see the bump, but the dad or the parents started filming after the gun was pulled on them. And that's the problem with Americans today. Everything makes us feel uncomfortable. Everything. The coronavirus now, people in certain states don't want to wear the mask. Makes them uncomfortable. I've seen a lot of videos of Karens at Trader Joe's, Walmart. Why do I have to wear a mask? I can't breathe properly. I'm uncomfortable with a mask. It's to save your life. It's to save other people's lives. It's not being selfish. It's looking out for other people. And I think that leads me to my next point. There's a lack of empathy in the modern day humans. And I think there's a lot of evolution in our civilization from 50 years ago to now, where the modern day human could be summed up as a Karen, as a white lady who feels uncomfortable at every little thing. It's raining today. It's uncomfortable. And my wife, she hires a lot of millennials, and she could tell you stories of the people she hires to work as office temps or, secretarial staff, admin staff, where people call out because it's raining or they don't feel happy today. So they call out for that. And that's a thing now. You could call out for wellness. My company, I think, started that too. Like if you don't feel mentally well, you could take extended time off, extended leave from work, or even work from home in some cases. And I think, I don't know if it's a problem if it's going to be a problem going on, because coronavirus was 2020. And I always tell people, like, this is the rehearsal. 2020 is the dress rehearsal for when, crap really hits the fan. Like if this was a zombie virus or, climate change is happening, global warming is coming, a lot of stuff is going to be coming up. 2020, I think, is just the beginning of humanity paying the price for living unsustainably for like hundreds of years. Like we've been unsustainable as a civilization for a long time, and I think it's all gonna it's a snowball effect. 2020, I think, is a dress rehearsal for the big thing that's coming, whether it's climate change or more viruses coming out of different parts of the planet. But coronavirus is the easiest thing to solve. It's the easiest thing as a society to overcome. And Americans, I know other parts of the world are doing different levels of it, but as Americans, I think we failed big time. For the first 3 months, I said the president, our leader, said it was a hoax. From January to March, I sat on a train going to work. I read the New York Times every morning, and I'm just a regular citizen. I could read in the New York Times where they're saying reports from China, reports from Taiwan, reports from Korea, how this virus is affecting people, how the society is modifying the way people go to work, where people might work from home. It was happening in China and Asia since January. And it took until March for us to realize it's here and we have to do something about it. And nothing was really done until like mid-April. So I think we failed in this dress rehearsal. And I'm not sure if we learned anything from it, because it's July now. And America, we've lost 48 million jobs. We've hundreds of thousands of people infected and died from this thing. And it's July and we're still having this kind of conversation where the governor of Texas is now telling people to wear a mask on TV yesterday, where he's like, it's important, you have to wear a mask because it's medically proven that wearing a surgical mask could prevent the spread of coronavirus. In July, 4th of July weekend, he's telling the state of Texas to wear a mask. It's 6 months, and I don't think we learned it from this coronavirus. And I think it has to do a lot with a lack of empathy for other people. We can't, a white woman can't look at me, not any white woman, but specific people that I've seen in videos can't look at a black family and think that, oh, one of the kids bumped into me, I'm being attacked, without saying, oh, it's a kid. I've worked with teenagers, I work with young kids. They're very awkward. You're 4 feet tall one day, then you're could be 6'5" the next day as a kid. So you're very awkward and you bump into stuff, and you've played with kids, you've known they're awkward. They bump into things, you're not being attacked. If someone comes and knocks on my windshield, I'm not gonna feel like, oh my God, I'm being carjacked instantly. I don't know where these people live or where they come from. I think part of all this is a smidge of white guilt, where a lot of white people have this historical guilt of what this country is built on, where this country is from. So they look at minority and colored people as sort of an eternal enemy, I think, because of the wrong that was done to us by their ancestors. And I have white friends, and I have had this discussion with them about this white guilt from historical perspective. And I believe a lot of what wasn't taught in school was to protect white people from feeling white guilt of Americans and what they've done to Native Americans, of what they've done to slaves and black people in history, of what they've done to other countries in the 20th century in these bogus wars that we have fought. And I think this is white guilt that people carry. So it makes them not have empathy towards other people. It makes them carry this fear and this eternal fear of other people that don't look like them. So I think that's what it is, and I think we have to overcome that. And I disagree with the president. The Black Lives Matter movement is not it's not a hate group. It's not about hate. All we want as Black Americans, as non-white Americans, it's not just Black people, it's Asian people, it's even young white people too that are in this mix somehow, where we don't want more than you guys have. We don't want more than what white people have. We just want the same standards. That's all we're fighting for. That's all we want. That's all the Black Lives Matter movement is about. We just want the same standards that you white people have. And that's it. And it's not black versus white. It's black, it's Asian, it's Hispanic, it's Filipino, it's Mexicans, it's a melting pot of America. It's a new America where it's different colored peoples, different races from different backgrounds. We want the same thing as upper middle class white Americans or, established white Americans. That's all we want. We don't want anything more. And I think it's sad that it's 2020. We have to have this discussion.